when you come into the dojo, what you'll do is you'll come in with your bag, and you'll come in with your regular street clothes, and you'll leave your shoes over the shoe rack, and then you'll come in with your socks on. Some people like to put their tabby on, which is their mat shoes, before they go on the mat. That's fine. We actually prefer that you don't put bare feet on the mat. That's a cleanly issue. We do everything that we can to keep it as clean as possible. I know a lot of martial artists, you know, if you've taken martial arts before, you're like, why can't I go into the mat with bare feet? Well, in our art, we throw each other to the ground, and that's why we have a nice cushiony mat to catch us. We don't want that nice cushiony mat having, well, you know, sweat from people's feet on it or anything like that. So we try our best to, everyone always wears a nice cleanly mat shoe. They're very inexpensive, and it's a nice fashion statement as well. So we're here. What you're gonna do is, like I said, you'll take your shoes off, maybe put your mat shoes on. If you have socks on, that's fine. You'll take your coat and everything with you. We're here, we approach the mat. We don't touch the mat until we bow to get on. Our hands come here, heels together, feet apart. We bow, left side on, right side on, and we bow again. Super simple. The deeper you bow, the more respect you have. The longer you stay bow, you stay down as you bow, the more respect you're giving. What we don't want to do is we don't want an incredibly elongated bow. Some people are a little overzealous, and they're like, I respect this place. And they'll hang out there for a while. And there's going to be a line forming behind you. You don't want a jerking motion where like that's your bow. You know, that's not a bow. And you just want to be comfortable with it. You're going to come here, bow, good enough. No big deal.
So during a class time, usually when there's a question by a lower rank or even a higher rank, when they're asked the instructor or the Shihan that's there or the sensei, it usually goes something like this. Right. And then Ed would ask the question. What just happened was Ed bowed, said excuse me in Japanese. I said yes. The lower rank bowed first, higher rank bowed second. Higher rank came up first, lower rank came up second. Questions asked, was explained and answered. And after the questions answered, and what that was Ed saying thank you and me saying you're welcome. The reason why we bow is so that we don't interrupt anyone who's speaking and out of simple respect, and it's just proper.
Another reason why we bow is we always want to train the minute, the reisaho and the small intricate pieces of the art. As in, you know, when we form a bow, we form our arcs, which we like to maintain when we're doing technique. We're practicing proper balance as well.
So what Nevin was talking about before is that subconscious training. We're constantly training the conscious mind. You know, this is the technique, that's the technique, this is how you lock them up, this is how you take them down, this is how you pick them up, toss them into somebody else, this is how you lock them against somebody else. But it's important to also train the subconscious. So to train the subconscious, what we need to do is we need to occupy the conscious mind. It'd be great if I could say that we came up with this, but we didn't. The ancient Japanese, who were training to survive, because they were at war for so many hundreds of years, came up with this really neat idea. And it was, your conscious mind is going to be occupied with things like fear, anger, frustration, a world of emotions, and a world of thoughts when you're engaged in combat. So what we're doing is we're training the subconscious so that even if the conscious mind is occupied, the subconscious will react because the subconscious is trained as well. So the fetal reaction is something that comes from childbirth, that when a person's scared, they turn back into that. So if I was really scared of Ed and I wasn't trained, and he came and he approached me, I may react in that fashion. That reaction is a subconscious reaction. My conscious mind isn't saying, you know what a good idea might be? If I curl up into a ball and I make squealing noises. You know, when he throws a punch, he'll never be able to get me if I just curl up into a ball. When he throws a kick, he'll never be able to attack me if I just curl up into a ball. No. It's a subconscious reaction. It stems from early on in development. The plan behind a bow, a simple plan behind a bow, is that when he's bowing, he's thinking about respecting me, I'm thinking about respecting him. We're occupying our minds with this concept of respect, honor, and loyalty, mutual appreciation. While we're occupying our minds with those things, our bodies are being trained. Because we bow a whole bunch of times throughout a class, we're constantly training our subconscious. So, those arcs, that bowing motion is going to occur. Even when I don't know what I'm doing, I'm going to end up creating arcs, and I might end up bowing to apply technique, if that makes sense. When we're here, when we're bowing on the ground, because it's important to know why we do something, not just to do it because our sensei told us to do it. So when we're here, we're practicing finding positioning over and over again. So when that punch comes in, I practiced finding positioning. I practiced finding positioning. When I came out on the mat, I was doing that over and over and over again. When I come here, I'm practicing finding that position. So you're constantly practicing finding that same positioning that's within the bow.
So we're having fun doing some technique, and then you'll hear yame. An instructor will call it, and what that means is end, it's time to end class, and we'll all find position along the edge of the wall. Once we're all seated at the edge, at the outer edge of the mat, you'll hear the highest rank say,
Shiseo tadashite sensei ni yore.
Arigatou gozaimasu. What he's saying is Shiseo tadashite, which means correct your body positioning, sensei ni yore, bow to the sensei, and once we're all bowed, we say arigatou gozaimasu, which means thank you, and we're thanking the sensei for his teachings. And then what you'll hear the students say,
Sigo ni yore.
Sigo ni yore means bow to your peers. So you're bowing to each other, and it's an implied thank you, and you're just thanking everybody for being here and allowing you to train with them.
So that's kind of what you can expect from your first class. What we went over are different sayings, different phrases, and those phrases you can watch time and time again on this DVD. You can rewind it and really get the pronunciation down if you want to, but it's really not important. We're here to teach you. We're here to help you. We have a saying in the dojo, and we say it time and time again, and that is a white belt can do no wrong. So you come in, you foul up everything, all you're going to get from us is smiles and acceptance. If you have that desire to learn and you have that desire to push forward and learn, wonderful. If you have some type of animosity, some type of anger about not getting things right, you kind of have to leave that at the door. The idea is that, yeah, we're going to screw up. Everybody's going to screw up. And then we're going to learn, and we're going to look amazing. So come in, bring that humility with you, and we're going to have a blast.